Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with the one and only Mr. Greg Dickerson. How you doing, sir?
Doing great, Michael. Good to see you today.
I have a question that I've been waiting for, right? I have a lot of millionaires on my show every week. We go over topics, as you know, but sometimes I have like a question for like one person. And this is your question. When I look at 2023, I'm already starting to see opportunities in residential real estate. I've closed two deals in the last 6 weeks. I see a lot of pain coming to multifamily because of syndication, bad financing, all of that. However, when I think about where the massive opportunity is, it's actually going to be in buying businesses. And of all my entrepreneurs that come back every week, you are the only person that does it. So I have to ask, is my assumption right, or am I missing something? Is it going to be a great time to buy businesses next year?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it'll be a good time for real estate as well, but real estate's a little slower moving, a little bit more difficult in some cases, depending on what you're looking at. And there are a lot of commercial and multifamily deals that are under stress right now, and it's just going to compound depending on where interest rates are in the next 6 months to a year. But yeah, businesses, it's very interesting. And I'm a startup guy, so I spent a lot of my
Yes.
career starting companies and starting businesses. I love to build, I love to start things, but it's way easier to buy an existing business and grow and scale that, roll up similar type businesses, things like that. And one of the statistics out there, I think it's like, I don't know, 70 or 80% of new businesses fail in the first 5 years. Probably a higher percentage of that fail in the first year. But franchises, I think only 5% of franchises fail when somebody starts, a franchise, even new location. So there's a reason for that. It's an existing system, it's a customer base, it's a marketing base, it's all those different things. So when you look at an existing business, that's what you're basically stepping into potentially, is that customer base, that system, the team that's in place, those types of things. And why the opportunities are there now that may not have been there over the last 3, 4, 5, 10 years is that a lot of people are aging out of certain businesses and there's nobody coming up behind them to take them over. So there's a lot of opportunities to do that. And then when you look at, other service-based professional businesses, the owners are kind of getting, tired and worn out, and, maybe they don't want to run the business, but they enjoy, like a dentist, maybe they enjoy dealing with the patients and things like that, but they don't want the responsibilities of a business. So a lot of dentists will sell their practice and keep practicing, but they don't have all of the other responsibilities and overhead and team issues and human resources support and all that stuff. Chiropractors, veterinary, veterinarians, things like that. So a lot of different opportunities right now, especially in the service-based businesses.
Yeah, and I think I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity because something you've brought to the channel taught me personally is good times never last, bad times never last. So again, I think it's clear we're heading into a slowing economy. I'll call it a recession. I think it could be as bad as 81, 82, which again was not a great time. Unemployment went all the way to 11%. But the opportunity is going to be able to buy businesses. And the key to buying businesses is it doesn't always require money. Sometimes it's just debt, it's payments, it's maybe you're bringing on your skill of doing some other things. So again, I think the real opportunity, if you have that ilk, if you're inclined to do that, is roll up some businesses and take them on, because you don't have to actually physically have money. Sometimes it's just debt, right? Owner financing.
Yeah, you can get owner financing, you can get SBA loans. I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can fund a business, and a lot of different strategies to put business together. The biggest thing is you always want to pay for speed, right? Anytime you can, you want to pay for speed. So if it's an existing business, you're paying for speed. It's already there. And then maybe there's hidden value in that business that other people don't see or the owner doesn't understand, but that you, with your, specific expertise and skill set, you might be able to see a faster path to that business that other people aren't seeing by whatever, spinning off, departments that are not necessary, adding things to it, bringing together other ancillary services, which was kind of my strategy, right? I was a builder
Yeah.
developer. So my strategy was, back in the day, I was having difficulty getting subcontractors to do my work. So I just bought them and grew them. So I was first on their list, and then we did work for other people. And I had multiple subs in one area where I had to get a pool guy, landscape guy, outdoor entertainment person. So I had all those three different things for each project I was doing. I said, well, shoot, it'd be great if I only had one phone call to make and all that was taken care of. So, the guy that was selling me pools and spas, he's like, hey man, why don't we do this? I'll run everything, you fund it, and we'll do this together. And we put that all together, pool spas, landscaping, and outdoor environment together. And then we found a building that we set this up in, that we got a 40-year owner finance deal with no money down, walked right into
Wow.
it. And we had to spend the money to renovate the building. It was an ugly old little commercial strip center. And we put the pool spa landscaping company in one end, leased out the other, cleaned the building up, renovated it. But yeah, we walked into it, no money down. They didn't want to pay the tax on it. They didn't know what they'd do with the money. They just wanted income, for the next 40 years,
Wow.
so that they could retire. And, so yeah, I mean, there's opportunities like that all day long. And you have a lot of times the business and the real estate together and separate. And, so there's the whole question, how do you value the real estate separately from the business? How do you value the business, and inventory, fixtures, equipment, all those types of things. So yeah, there's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah, and again, the other thing I love about your story and the fact that we've been doing this right, good times never last, bad times never last. In this bad time, you can really, purposely build a framework. Like you said, you brought the spa and landscaping together, but 2, 3, 4, whatever it is, years from now, the good times are occurring. You have the ability. You can spin off that. You can sell it at a higher multiple. You can sell the whole thing and have a nice clean exit and do it again. It's so awesome to talk to you and see how your brain works, right? You're going to be taking action during the downtime, and then you'll decide what you want to do for the exits. It's a lot of
Yeah.
fun to watch.
And these work online or off. So,
Yeah.
especially in the online world today, all types of different ways that you can consolidate businesses and bring them all together. And it's just so much easier now to just buy and consolidate and add complementary businesses than it is to just start everything and try to find the people and try to find the resources and things like that. And, back when I was doing it, it was easier to start them than it was to buy them because there was nothing for sale, at scale like it is now. I mean, you could always buy businesses, but depending on what it is you wanted to do, it wasn't always as easy. And I don't know, I've never really thought about what's the mix. How many did I start? How many did I buy? I have to go back and look at the numbers. It's been so many now, and I'm involved in some startups right now. So I still
Yeah.
love to do it, but I'm the brain trust. There's other people doing the day to
Yeah,
day.
doing the screwing in the light bulbs or whatever it is. It would be interesting buying versus starting. What gut feel? Is it like 70-30, 30-40-60? Do you have any
The amount
idea?
that I did,
Yeah, no, like it's the split, just a rough guess. 50-50 start versus buy, 70-30. I'm just curious.
at the end of the day, I probably bought more than I started,
Okay.
probably
Yeah.
60-40
Yeah, that's what I
potentially.
would think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, it's what I really love about this is tying together your statement of good times never last, bad times never last. This is a bad time. It's going to be a bad time for the global economy, but operators, visionaries, execution guys like you're going to be making moves in silent. You're going to be building thing, and then when the good times occur, you're going to get that increase in multiple. You have a clean exit. It's just going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, I'm more excited about businesses in general because I think you overall have more upside potential in a
Yeah.
business or a company, especially in the online space, tech space, things like that, than you do in real estate right now because real estate valuations are just so high. You
Yeah.
need a deep, deep correction. So there'll be opportunities, but not at scale like there are in businesses right now.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to have this conversation. I agree with you. Real estate prices are sticky. People, again, right? Interest rates are up 300 basis points. It's supposed to fall 30%. That's not how it works. We have supply and demand destruction. It's just proven to be a lot stickier than people probably expected. But businesses, there's a lot of businesses that are running cash flow negative, that need help. They maybe taken on too much debt or whatever. And yeah, I think there's going to be
Or
some
just
some nice deals done.
exiting and just burned out or whatever,
Yeah.
or just don't know how to grow, get to the next level. So there's a lot of different ways to enter, a lot of different ways to exit. It could be that, hey, it's a great business. The owner doesn't want to go anywhere, but he doesn't know how to grow it. So you
Right.
come on board, you align and you blow it up. So, there's deals like that. On the real estate front, the deals to be made there are going to be assuming existing debt
Yes.
because, there's a lot of people locked in on the residential side, especially to
Agreed.
low interest rates. And then on the commercial side, taking over deals and assuming those loans because again
Yeah.
they're probably potentially those deals that are blowing up, the loans are adjusting. But when that happens, the equity gets wiped out. So now you
Wiped
get
out.
value play at a higher interest rate. So it makes
Yeah.
sense versus the residential. You're getting a lower interest rate and, taking over the loan, or, taking over the property, not the loan necessarily, because those aren't assumable, but you can take the property over and leave the loan in place.
Yeah, it's gonna be a wild couple of years. I'm excited. We've been talking for years about how we built capital, structured our debt, 30-year fixed, and we're ready to rock and roll. Greg, where can people find you?
GregDickerson.com. That's where all my info lives. Go check it out.
Thank you, buddy.